Hello and welcome to the Pretty Extreme Podcast. I am your host, PX Floro, and you guys are in for a treat because I don't have just one person in the building, which is myself. I actually have two ladies in the building. So make some noise, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
That is, okay, I guess you guys should say your names when you say that.
I think you should go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Nyoki. I'm excited to be back. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you for doing the podcast. I felt bad because we had a little bit of technical difficulties before we got started.
Hi, I'm Jomama. I am Jomama. And I wasn't even supposed to be here, so thank you.
Yeah, it was an impromptu.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I kind of
What do you call that when you
overstayed my welcome?
No, she's crashing the podcast.
Overstayed
She's
my
podcast crashing. No, overstay. I'm on. No, you're welcome. I tell that to all my friends. I'm like, you're always welcome here. Like, you need a couch to surf on. Like,
I am crashing
that's
the podcast.
Yeah, she's podcast crashing, which is, it's okay. I actually have a co-host. We haven't been able to do a second episode. It's Priscilla Torres. But yeah, but I just do the podcast whenever. I told her, I was like, I just do this whenever. So like whenever you're in town, down to co-host. But today you guys are my guests, so I appreciate you both, taking the time to do the podcast with me. I have exciting news to share with you guys, which I don't know if I've already shared it with you guys. But the Pretty Extreme Podcast is actually going to be on the radio pretty soon. So I'm hoping by October, 91.5 KKUP will have Pretty Extreme Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be from midnight to 2 a.m. On Wednesdays.
Oh, so the prisoners can listen to it.
I'm sorry?
So the prisoners can listen to it.
Can they listen to the radio? I think
so.
Elmwood, yeah. They can listen to it.
I think that's what happens at night. I don't know. Is that bad?
In jail or in prison?
In prison.
I don't think prison, because there's no prison nearby here. There's a jail.
Oh, jail. I don't know.
But I think the jail could.
Whenever it came to late night music, I always thought it was for like the lovers that were in prison and the ones that were at home. The ones, because they would always be calling each other like
through the radio.
Yeah, this is my message to so and so in jail. Okay, maybe I come from a different side.
I think so.
You're just like
because now it tells you there's a collect call from so and so, and if I was a radio personnel, I wouldn't want to be like, I'm gonna accept this collect call.
I don't know how they did it. Now that
have you ever been to jail?
No, but I've gotten calls from jail.
Have you been to jail?
No.
Yeah.
But you, how did the calls from jails go?
I only took them if they were paid for. I didn't take collect calls.
You didn't take collect calls? Well, because sometimes they can pay for the call and call you too.
Well, and plus,
but you still have to accept the call. They're like, do you want to accept the call?
So the crazy thing is veterans get like a discount.
On collect calls? What?
So he got his free set of calls to call me. And then I wasn't accepting any collect calls.
So you didn't have to pay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you going to have like a live line when you're on the radio?
Yeah, I have one now.
So people can call in right now?
Yeah, people can call in right now if they wanted to call in. And then they want to join the fun. I mean, the weird part, though, is you guys wouldn't be able to hear them because I don't have headphones for you guys.
Then you could translate.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, hey, we have a caller. I can repeat the message. But this is going to air later on tonight. So then when it airs tonight, they're going to be like, I'm going to call in. And then I'm going to be like, why are you calling?
It's to relay a message to somebody in jail.
I'd be like, okay, what's the message? Well, I'm excited because
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'm even more excited to have you ladies here because usually I'm doing this kind of by myself. So, and the reason why it's called Pretty Extreme Podcast, it's just everyone is extreme. I don't care what anybody says. And people even say like, I'm boring. And I'm like, that's extreme because
you're extremely boring.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of boring people. You know what I mean? That I'm friends with. So that's pretty extreme when I meet boring people. But one of the things that we were kind of talking about while we were in the lobby, we were talking about you visiting a different country and then you asked her a question. There was like a follow-up question and I was curious as to what it was.
Right.
Yeah, because I was like, save it. Yeah, no, what was it? I don't remember what it was, but it was about, go ahead.
When you were doing your nails.
Yeah, I was doing my nails and then I was asking, and then you said something and then she asked a follow-up question. I'm like, that's a great question. I want to know it.
So in Germany, I wanted to get a manicure. I wanted to get acrylic done a manicure and acrylic. Okay, so I wanted them to
Oh yeah, they would clean
to
cuticles.
clean my nails,
Yeah.
and then that's where I learned that they thought it was inhumane
To-
to cut your
Mm-hmm.
cuticles. So what they were taught was to push it, and it was against whatever they taught.
In the nail technician jobs in Germany.
Correct. But then you also got to realize they were so strict on a lot of things, like their what they regulated allowed ingredients and stuff. A lot of our American ingredients are harsh.
Oh yeah,
and they wouldn't
it's
even
poisonous.
allow it there. Yeah,
it's poisonous.
So just think that they think of like
So
people,
pushing,
yeah,
cutting your cuticle.
Is it-
So do they not cut their hair out there? I'm curious. Or do they not cut their nails? Because isn't that the same thing?
I'm just saying, but like, have you smelled the deodorant sometimes? Like it. I'm just saying, like okay. What I'm saying is that it's apparent that the ingredients are different. And I'm not saying for like how they treat their extended parts of their body, but the ingredients that they include affect like how their deodorant works. That's what I'm trying to say. Because
Can I tell you, I agree with that for the most part, except that from Italy, I bring deodorant with aluminum. So because
But I thought you're not supposed to do that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But they have it in Italy, and it's better, dude. It's stronger. What can I say?
It protects you more.
Yeah,
But
but it lasts longer. It's like it doesn't fucking destroy my clothes. I feel like I can wear a shirt more than twice without it. Like, do you not notice this? Like leaving
Residues.
deodorant.
Yeah.
So it's
residue
a
on shirts and
different
stuff.
type of deodorant that's available in
Yeah.
Italy, whereas in
Yeah.
America, it's
Ours
not.
is actually going to give you cancer.
Well, I don't know, but I
Aluminum is
mean,
cancerous.
aluminum.
Does
I
it
think is
say
gonna
that?
Do something
Does
bad
it
too.
does it
but-
say that on your guys' products? Does it say this product contains aluminum just like how it does in America?
I don't think so.
No, it just
Because
works
I don't
better.
think and I don't think that's where I think America's kind of fucked up. Like I think it's kind of like either over information or not enough information,
Right.
and like we're misinformed. Like
Yeah.
I'm hearing GMO's not bad.
GMO, genetic
GMO.
modified,
GMO, yeah, like
genetic modified anything.
yeah, like specifically that it's not bad. Like I'm hearing, but then I thought it's bad.
Because it's genetically modified.
Right, and
in the word in itself.
right, and so when someone told me like, yeah, GMO's really not bad, and there's another thing that Asian people use in their food, MSG, like
yeah,
they're saying that's not bad.
Wait, hold on. First of all, they sell MSG in little salt shakers, so obviously it can't be that bad because they put it in their food.
Yeah, well, but growing up, people are like, yeah, MSG is actually bad for
It's
you.
bad, yeah.
And then I ordered pho one time, this Vietnamese soup
Yeah.
bowl without it because I went with a friend who's like, oh yeah, no MSG, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna copy her because I've never had it with no MSG, right? And it tasted fucking disgusting.
Oh
It
my
just
God,
tasted like
horrible.
water and like noodles. It was so
no.
gross, and I was like, wait a minute, is that what I taste? Is MSG what makes?
Okay,
sense for
'cause-
the flavor?
Yeah, so Ajinomoto is the MSG, the little. It's like
What is it made from? Is it made in Japan, China? What is it made?
But the name is Ajinomoto.
It sounds Japanese, yeah.
But that's MSG, and I was like, I didn't know it was a seasoning. It's a seasoning. It's a preservative, really. But they use it like a
But I feel like it's a
seasoning
healthy preservative because Asians have been using it for like
for
centuries.
years,
Yeah.
But then salt is a preservative as well. So like you know.
And salt's bad for you too.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah, that's
sugar's
true.
bad for you. Everything white, I guess, is bad for you. Like no sugar, no salt, no, you know what I mean?
Everything's just bad. Excessive
Yeah.
amounts of things are just bad.
Yeah. I think I believe that. And I feel like our bodies, like back in the day, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't know, right? Like a lot of people who are like in their 60s and 70s and 80s now, there's like those commercials popping like, if you have been diagnosed with cancer, and did you use Johnson & Johnson baby powder when you were a baby? Like, you know what I'm
We
saying?
all use that.
Dude,
We all like it was a part of
it was a
growing up.
natural like
Yeah.
baby product.
It's like if you had a baby, you're supposed to.
I mean, not natural.
No, for real. If you had a baby and you're going to change a diaper, you're supposed to powder it.
Right.
Or so, you know,
Yeah, because
so that-
you don't want the butt, you want the booty to stay
Stay
dry.
dry.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
She's like, I don't use any baby powder on my ass because I'm
We
a
have
grown ass
bidets.
adult. Yeah. I love my bidet, by the way. I love my bidet. Which, okay, that's what I wanted to talk about too. When you're introducing yourself, Nyoki, you are a very local comedian.
Yes.
And Jomama is also a Barrio local comedian. But where would you like to say that you're based out of? Like your home base?
So I live in Santa Cruz, but I'm mostly working probably in the South Bay, like San Jose. But I try to go up to San Francisco, Oakland more. It's just depends on how far I want to cook.
Right. I feel it. I feel it.
Can, right?
Yeah, of course. Go light it up.
All
Light
right,
it
just
up.
tell me
There's
if
an
you want me to pass
ashtray.
it 'cause I'm rude as fuck.
I'll go like this.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'll raise my hand up. I'll be like, well, I want some over here. Yeah, as you know, this is a smoking podcast. Well, not a smoking podcast, but I'm always the one
encouraged.
smoking. Yeah, I'm always the one. I'll be on Your Worst Neighbors, and I'm just like, and then Ori's just looking at me like, okay.
sound like PX.
And Sam, he'll look out for me. He's the sound producer for Your Worst Neighbors, and he'll look out for me, and he'll like turn down my mic just so I'm not like coughing into the microphone. But I guess that's like good producing when people do that.
Good engineering.
Yeah. And let's
That's
see.
a compliment, Sam.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's what he went to school for. So yeah. So I think that's why like he was a good candidate to help. But he doesn't help me with my podcast, unfortunately. It's just us ladies, you know. Well, it's just me really, but you know, I like having ladies on the podcast because I feel like we have so much fun when we're hanging out at Mike's and doing shows together. I mean, we were having a blast right before this started.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
before this started. I mean, we're still having a blast though. We're still having fun.
It was all silent
Yeah,
earlier.
we're
Nothing
still
was
having fun.
happening. No.
And to touch back to what that was, I was trying to remember. You had a follow-up question. You asked her, well, what other kind of things do Germans find torture as torture?
Yeah.
Because they said that pushing your cuticles is a form of torture. So what would you say?
Oh my
Is there
gosh.
other things that the German culture?
That was distinctly their Forestmeister with the people who
What's a
were
Forestmeister?
Forestmeister, the people who were in charge of the forest.
The
peop-
flowers?
like nature, the trees, the forest part, you know.
Like rangers.
Like
Yeah,
park
I guess
rangers?
So, like American wise, it'd be the rangers, but the Forestmeisters are the people who take care of like the natural habitat, and they're so good
Oh.
about it. But that's why it's so fresh and clean there, because I feel like they have such good like the Black Forest and everything to filter out all the bad bad shit in the air.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, like rangers. I want to say or park. What are
But
those
the
people called?
Forestmeisters, but just think they're the masters of the forest, Forestmeisters.
Yeah, like wildlife.
Yeah,
The wildlife people. You say the Loras.
But no, they were so in tune with, I mean, and they use like manure all the time. So like they were so in tune with how they compose.
So manure is good for it's
Yeah, it
good
just
soil,
stinks like
right?
shit.
Of course, it stinks like shit. Why do you think it's so good? Like the vegetables are so good from it. You know what I mean?
That's how
It's-
Davis smelled like. I went to school in Davis, and it
just smells like manure.
Know
This
for
is by the-
agricultural and like.
Oh, you can get a
farming
degree
and-
out there.
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
agriculture.
And we definitely had cows, dude, right next to the campus.
And you have to
Smelled
get
like
used to that smell. It kind of like resonates in your
Yeah,
throat too. Like,
Honestly, I grew up near the Alps, where it's also really farmy. So to me,
So
this reminds
you were
me of
used
my
to it.
childhood.
Oh,
I love
how
that.
cute.
Did you have like
Oh,
cows
like,
around
cow
you
shit.
too?
So you were growing up. You were around a lot of farming area.
I grew up in a small town. It was like maybe close to like Santa Cruz, but half my family's from like the mountains, like from a village.
Wow, that's so
yeah.
cool.
I love like something about Europe just made me feel like it rained enough to keep it green, like green and lush. Like it just never looked.
Well, there's a place
dry.
called Greenland that's not really green, and
Green,
there's a place like
Iceland.
called Iceland where it's green,
Yeah,
right?
they did like
Yeah.
the switch up to trick gringos. I don't know.
Is that what it was? Well, aren't they gringos? I was like, aren't they white? Yeah. I was like, why did I think it's a different color? Like,
I remember hearing a story. I don't know how accurate it was because I came from a time before the internet when it was like all by word of mouth.
right before the internet. Well, I was gonna say, you said the mountains. So did you experience some snow where you were at?
Oh,
For
Like,
sure, even in the
The
town-
seasons, the 4 seasons.
Oh yeah.
And was it the same like here in America? How like our seasons, spring is in April, right? January,
Yeah.
same
We're
thing.
on the same because we were on the same like side of the planet. Like
Oh, but on the other side,
yeah, yes.
right? So you know how they always have that joke
Yeah.
where like if we dig through California, America,
China.
we end
Down
up
to
in China.
China.
But I heard that's actually not true.
Where would we end up?
I don't know, but it's not China. I think it's
Australia.
No, Italy is directly opposed to New Zealand. So because
oh,
it's
so it wouldn't
all-
be New Zealand.
Yeah.
We'd probably go right into the ocean,
You guys-
just take straight through. Yeah, the world's planet scares me. Like everyone's so scared about UFOs. Like I'm scared of what's inside our planet.
There's a lot of things to be
Dude,
scared of.
dude, our planet is like 80-something% water.
Yes.
Water bugs.
So you're saying like the thing, for one, the moon controls water. Okay, that's one thing, right?
It does.
The moon controls.
How does the moon?
tides.
Is it like a magnet or something?
It's a pull. I think.
It's a gravity.
Pull, yeah.
Oh,
It goes around
causing
Earth and,
the moon
pulls
'cause
the
it's
water
spinning and
around
stuff.
the ocean, yeah.
That's
So
so
with that in
amazing.
mind, the world being 80% water, as you stated, can you imagine we're affected by the fucking pull of the moon?
So if the moon exploded,
Oh shit! My daughter used to have that fear. Like, what if something happened to the moon?
yeah. So what would happen? Then we would have the sun all day.
No, because we also go
I
around
think-
the sun.
I think it'd be devastating.
We just wouldn't have the moon.
It would be pretty devastating because then there's like a lot of things that would happen without the moon. I think.
Like what would
mean,
happen
for
without
sure
the moon? I'm curious.
I don't know.
I-
No pool of water. The
No
water
more
won't know
waves?
what to do.
No more
Pretty
waves.
much, I think what you want to think of is how it affects like the fact that the Earth has something around it to disrupt it from the sun's gravitational pull or some other big planet's gravitational pull. So it would make the Earth's gravitational pull weaker, which would make it more likely to probably sink into another bigger planet.
So devastation. It could be devastating.
Catastrophe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
God, I love your brain, Nyoki. I
Yeah,
love
she's a
your
scientist.
brain.
Yeah.
If I could have stayed in school forever, I would have stayed in
Okay,
school
one of my favorite things about having you two guests here is that you guys, outside of comedy, have done amazing. You guys do amazing things outside of comedy, and you guys are amazing as female comedians. That's why I fuck with you guys. But Nyoki, like I believe you're a scientist and you're a military vet, right?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, I want to know what Jomama. I want to know what you do and what
Yeah.
you've done.
Right.
girl.
So-
yeah.
Well, okay.
Okay, let me just tell you something, Nyoki. This bitch, right? She's trying to grow as a comedian, and she's like tells me this one liner, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What?" And I was like,
Oh, because
I was like, I want to hear your stories, girl. Like, I want to hear your
She
stories.
doesn't want one line.
No, I
jokes.
want to hear her stories, and whether they're jokes or not. Like, I think she has amazing stories because I've just heard a few of them, and they're amazing. So, like,
Ooh.
let's touch it first on. You're still a scientist,
Yeah.
so
Oh
maybe
my
we can build a bomb, and then and then you can help shoot it. I don't. What? How many guns in your life have you ever shot? Because I mean, you're in the military. You've shot all
I'll go
kinds.
through that. Okay, so right off the bat, we started with the M16, and then I learned how to fire the M9, but I also learned how to fire the M249, which is a baby M60, which is like an automatic. It's a big
Like
249.
an M16 or 60, 60.
M60.
Yeah, so it's even
60,
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the M249 is a baby version of that one. So that
How
one
cute.
was
Cute
what
guns.
I was learning to fire and clean and dismantle and reassemble. But also I had the 203 grenade launcher. I fired the Law rocket launcher. I have fired the Mark 10, which is like it's an anti-aircraft weapon that's mounted on top of a Humvee.
Oh my god.
Yeah, to charge it, to load a round, to charge a round, I had to like push and pull to
Damn.
load a round into this chamber. But
How
it
was the
fun to shoot.
kickback from that?
Oh, well, okay. So the hardest kickback that I've really had was it had to have been just the shotgun. Shotguns just have real kickback.
Right.
But everything else, the M16, I got used to it. Because what they want us to do is roll it on our face so it's like minimal contact when it hits your jaw.
Oh.
Like we roll our chin into it so whenever it kicks back, you're moving with it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll have a bruise here, but then like
And that's from a shotgun, you're saying?
that's from M16.
Oh, from my exit. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So my favorite was the M16 that we had when I first joined because they changed it to the small M14s, I think it is, which is like a smaller version of the M16.
Well, I was gonna say it's still by size. So the smaller the number, the smaller the gun. Typically, like when you say 45 Magnum
Yeah.
versus like 48,
Oh
right?
no,
Or-
it's called an M4. That's what it's called. It's
Okay.
It's an.
But is it
improvised-
smaller?
It's a shortened stock, so the stock is shorter.
oh, like the part where the thing is I guess the
butt stock that goes.
yeah
into
that goes into your shoulder. Oh,
Yeah.
that's shorter. Oh, so you can actually pull
Yeah.
it closer to you.
Yeah, and it's more compact. So
It's lighter, I'm assuming.
I want to say the M16 was very prehistoric because, like, being a short person, the M16 would sling over my shoulder and hit the back of my leg. So
I remember you
just
telling me
look
that
like a
story.
little kid. I look like a little kid with my M16, but I could shoot it.
Can you tell about your first day?
Oh shit!
Her first day working
Okay.
in the military.
Well, okay.
So how did you get into it? Sorry. Okay. No, actually, tell me. Okay.
No, start from there. How did you get in the military?
I didn't want to stay here and not have a plan.
And where was here? San
Or
Francisco. Okay.
Yeah, because like all my cousins weren't doing anything, and it was time for like summer ended, and people were going back to school. And I had cousins that weren't going back to school. I'm like, what are you doing with your lives? And I just graduated high school. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So I was like, I need to join the military because I'm going to probably get arrested or something hanging with my badass cousins. I wasn't the type to get arrested.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
Have you ever been
Like,
arrested?
I had to think about it.
I feel like you already asked.
Have I asked you this? I think I asked you this like maybe on Your Worst Neighbors or something. I don't know.
Have you been arrested?
No, I've never been arrested. I've never been cuffed.
Oh, I've
I mean,
arrested
by
people.
cops, you know.
Like, I've arrested people. I've never been arrested.
Not because you were a cop in the military.
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
a cop in
So
the
did
military.
you arrest? Like, who did you arrest?
Just whoever they were like, you have
If
to
they're
arrest
breaking
that
the
person.
where
yeah.
where were you a police officer? What country?
Okay, so but I learned in San Antonio, Texas. I went to Spangdahlem, Germany. So yeah, I was a cop on the flight line and a law enforcement cop on the base in Germany. I don't know. It's not that exciting. It's not as exciting as
No, it's exciting because you're going to tell the part about your first day of work. But before we say your first day of work, you said you were working in Germany. And one of the things that I thought would be kind of cool for the listeners to know is that you didn't have to speak German
No.
while you were out there,
Yeah.
which I would think I would either need to learn the language, you know what I mean? Or have a translator, Google, be
Yeah.
like, where is the bathroom? And then translate it.
we had our own personal policy. Yeah, we had our own personal
like a translator.
Oh no, policy, the German cops that were working.
Oh,
with
so
us.
you worked with the German cops.
Yeah. They worked. If we were off base, especially, or even working the front gate, they would be there with us. So policy was very helpful.
So they're actually being real police.
Yes.
I was
So
like,
you're
that's
just
cool.
there to like enforce.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
because we were in charge of the American installation, and then they were just in charge of what was off base. That was their jurisdiction. We had our own jurisdiction.
How's the police over where you're in your country?
The Italian?
Italy.
Corrupt. I don't know.
Really?
I remember you had to have money.
We're
on
great.
your
We're gonna
phone.
shut down our
They're
podcast.
super
I'm just kidding.
fascist.
They're fascists.
Yeah, like legit the fascists. Yeah.
I mean, the Philippines are corrupt too.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, super corrupt. I just saw this video. Well, I saw the video in my feed again, and I remember seeing the video for the first time. And I was at work when I watched it, and I was sick to my stomach. It was literally this guy. Like his mom is like holding him back, and she's just like, "Don't, just leave him alone." She's like protecting her son, like, "Don't touch him, right?" And then there's this little girl here saying, "My dad is a police officer. My dad is a police officer." Fucking gets a gun, pop, pop, shoots the son and the mom
The little kid
on video. No, not the little kid, the
dad,
police
dad?
officer. Yeah. And she's yelling that saying, and I saw it and I got so mad at my mom. I was like, why the fuck are you sending me shit like
my
this,
mom
dude?
would do.
Do you know how fucking, she's like, it's because it's happening in the Philippines. I'm like,
that
well,
doesn't
I'm
mean I
not in
wanna
the
know that.
Philippines.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want to
so
see that. I
sad.
don't want to see that in
'Cause
America.
that's real.
And I don't want to see that in the Philippines.
Damn. Why parents be sharing the worst possible information?
My
Like
parents-
I don't want to know.
My
No.
mom sent me some stuff like that I was like, I can't unsee this.
Parents, yeah, I think like for them it's not so bad. I don't know, but to me I'm like it's pretty bad and
Yeah.
graphic. Like I'm just like this is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, is it like corrupt like that?
When I was back in Italy this summer, there was on the news like video proof of some cops that like just arresting like homeless people or
Just because.
like or whatever, like people on the street and fucking beating them up and then like partying, and then they were like known for like drinking and like
Oh, God,
arresting
that's
people and fucking
really
them up. Like they
So
were,
who
they
is
had, like,
going-
a secret? So they're
Who's
they
going
were, like,
against them? Who is
so,
it? The news, the people, like
I don't know who. I think because the video came out, like there's gonna be like the usual like,
investigation.
Yeah.
Well, and they're gonna have to explain themselves now.
Yeah, but
right?
the thing is, okay, I have a friend who like he studied law, and for some reason like he wanted to join like the police to be able to have like a kind of like a work overseas in that way.
To have experience, just say that he's worked for
So
law
because it's
enforcement.
kind of like working for like the state or like the government, so he'd be like doing, and mind you, he had like a law, like a degree in law, so
Oh, wow.
he
So he had a lot of
so he
information.
basically, I don't know, I guess he studied law, didn't want to be a lawyer, and wanted to be like a diplomat kind of.
Yeah.
So he tried to join the police, and he told me like, and I was surprised because I was like, he's
American or Italian?
I thought he was more
friend?
ACAB than that, you know. But I was like, why? Okay. So anyway, he tried to join the police, and he met everything except the mental like test because he wasn't. He was like, because I wasn't fascist enough. Like everybody else that was let in was like some like turd brain that was like, yes, you know, I am down to beat people up, man,
But he
and
was
party.
too.
Okay. But so yeah, so people, cops in Italy are like, I feel like cops everywhere.
But it's good that they're being exploited. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do they have body cameras like they do here in the
No,
United States?
no,
Like, I
no.
feel like those body cameras was
feels
like the best
revealing.
thing, and then it's also the worst thing.
Yeah.
Like to have like you're like, okay, are we gonna record this? Oh, we're gonna record this.
On the bright side, the truth is always going to come out. And
Oh,
that's just
100%.
another way to help the truth come out.
And this is why the people need to band together and work with the government instead against the government. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the more we fight with each other, the more we don't get anything accomplished. But if we work together and come to an agreement and, you know, compromise, I feel like we're going to get a lot further in society, just being fucking human, alive. And it's proof in other countries, because a lot of other countries, they don't get involved in war. You know what I mean? Other countries, they're like, they don't have gun violence. They don't have as much gun violence.
And may I say, I feel like money's at the bottom of all of this, but there's definitely a push for people being separated, you know, polarization and all of that. So they're trying to keep you, you know, divided, which they do a really good job of in the U.S. so they can brainwash you into being a better consumer. And like, because war at the end of the day, war is like selling weapons. Like it's money there too, you know.
Yes. I'm not.
Is this too much, PX? Am I on a list now?
No. this is sorry, even if I muted, you can still hear my
They
cough.
got her, the government.
This is valid information, okay? I know. They're like, she's dying. She's dying.
Making PX cough.
This bong rip tastes weird.
I know. I think I'm being poisoned. Infiltration.
CIA weed. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well, I mean,
New strain.
and because it's so easy for the government to do the opposite, right? Like here, if we work together, we unify, we are the people, then we're going to be unified. But then they're doing the opposite. They're getting greedy. They're like, I'm going to fucking care about myself. You know what I mean? And get myself ahead, then worry about the people and, you know, who care, we shoot and whatever.
I just don't think it's, there's no point in watching because you're not going to see what's really happening. Does that make sense?
Watching what? The news?
The news.
Oh, I don't watch the news.
Yeah, everything. The news is really to divert your attention.
Yeah, and you know what's even more crazy? Like you mentioned, you're watching the news in Italy. Like a lot of the stuff that we watch here isn't the same shit. Yeah, it's propaganda. It's exactly propaganda.
Oh, yeah.
Because then when I watch the Filipino news every now and then, like my parents are watching it and then they're talking about America. Like my family are like, oh my gosh, are you close to there? I'm like, it's on the other side of the country. Like, I'm like, we're so far from whatever
Mass shooting you're asking about.
or hurricane or shopping robbery with 400
Yeah,
students.
but
You know what I
they see
mean?
a lot of different aspects.
They see the different aspects.
We see only regional stuff.
Who, the Philippines, or do you mean us?
Us.
Oh yeah,
Because
we don't see we don't see a lot of stuff like
we don't see past what we look for either.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
I had a. Oh, what were you saying?
I like to watch. I like to go on like the news on YouTube and look at different like international sources because that kind of gives like a bigger overview. But it's obviously like sometimes like even just a video title, I'm like violent rioters, and I'm like, all right, well, yes, they're being violent rioters, but like that's
What
an
did you guys
objective
do?
description. But what,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why are you
What'd
just
you
showing me
guys
the
do?
footage? You know, what's going on?
Oh,
Why
yeah.
they do that? You know.
Oh yeah. Whenever you're seeing somebody's perspective or posts, it's their perspective. Yeah, which one? This?
Yeah, in the ashtray. Thank you.
But yeah, so I feel like so I do a lot of content, and a lot of it is my own opinion. So I always want to make it a point to say this is just my own experience. I'm not fucking trying to say, you know, y'all should be like me. Hell no. Not everybody should be a 44-year-old Filipino woman. Right? But
That's a utopia. Like,
I had no idea you were a woman.
But like, I mean, I was hanging with this one white dude, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm really a white guy," because we had so much in common.
went into the military, married young.
Yeah, right. Have children now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could pass for a white guy.
Did
Yeah.
Did you have a pickup truck? Did you ever drive a?
No. No.
You're safe.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, then you're safe, right? Yeah.
A fun story. There was one night we were in training in Florida, and we wanted to go to the club, but they didn't have any vehicles for us, so they let me drive a Deuce.
What's a deuce?
A Deuce is a 2-ton truck.
that?
It's
Oh, a
two-
2-ton
two-ton
truck.
truck, yes. And me and my homegirls in our heels, yeah, went to the club in a 2-ton truck that we drove. Yeah,
In heels?
It's so heavy.
badass.
Yeah, it's a stick shift 2-ton truck.
Yeah.
And it's big enough that people could ride in the back. So like me and my girls were in the front seat, and then I had like a gang of people in the back. Yeah.
That's so cool. How long did you guys borrow the car for?
Oh, just for that night.
That's
brought
so
it
cool.
back.
That's like I want to say it's like Cinderella-ish in a way, you know what I
Oh
mean?
my
But not
gosh,
really. They're
right?
like, instead of them turning the carriage into a pumpkin, they're like, we're gonna turn this into like a big ass fucking
2-ton.
yeah, a 2-ton truck.
So they're called deuces.
Those are called deuces.
Deuces. It's a deuce.
Because the 2 in the 210,
I think so.
I would assume 210.
I
It's 2
never-
tons.
Yeah, I just knew when they said get the deuce keys, get the deuce keys.
That's so cool. You're such a baddie, dude. The biggest thing I've ever driven in my life is an RV.
Oh shit, those are huge.
No, but it's not the long one.
I'm sorry, I haven't even like you guys.
we have the J's going around right now. So I drove like an RV. You know those ones where it has like a
The trailer.
it doesn't really have a trailer attached, but it's like it has the overhead part. Like you know what I mean? Like so if you're driving, there's like a part where people
Yeah.
can lay down on the top,
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So imagine one of those RVs,
It's like a bus.
kind of like the bus, but it's different because
Is it 4 wheels or is it more?
it's 6.
Let me 6 wheels.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
6 because it's 2 in the front. Oh no, wait.
You
Yeah,
can get
2 in the
U-Hauls
front,
Like that. Yeah, you
Two
get
in the
more
middle
storage.
and
two in the middle, and then 2 in the back. Yeah. Or I think there was
Seems
like
good.
an extra 2 wheels in the backpack again. Like you know what I mean? Like it's 4 wheels. I don't remember. But I used to work at a credit union, and they converted an RV into a office. So it had 2 desks inside. So there was
You
no
would drive
bed.
that around.
Huh?
You drove that
And
around.
that's what I drove around. And everyone's like, aren't you scared to drive it around? I was like, well, you don't need a special license for it. I was like, it's not scary at all. Just don't be driving fucking like a dumbass.
Did you
know
ever
what I mean?
drive it on the freeway?
Yeah, I drove it on the freeway. I had to drive it from Palo Alto to Mountain View to Sunnyvale to Redwood City, and then sometimes any night events that they might have. So the craziest one, I had to sleep in the fucking RV because it had an ATM machine attached to it.
Oh shit.
But people didn't know there was an ATM attached to it until it was like open, right?
That's
You know what I mean? So they would have to like fucking open doors
How
and stuff.
did an ATM machine get into
'Cause it's a
the back of
bank.
your RV?
No, because she's a bank. She's a mobile bank.
Yeah, I'm a mobile bank. I used to manage one of those. Yeah.
No,
so
but I've seen what they've done to ATMs that are stationary. So
yeah, it was cool because this one, it had like a cabinet covering it. So like no one would know there was an ATM there
Yeah.
unless they had keys to open
I'm glad
the
that you're
cabinet.
safe because that's dangerous.
Well, that's why I had to
as fuck.
sleep in it because they were scared that someone was going to rob it.
They didn't.
Yeah, so
Did they
they were
give you a
like-
gun?
Hell no, bitch.
They were like, if
I
she
was-
dies, she dies.
I thought if
Yeah.
there was like a certain amount of money that they had to be armed or something.
I mean,
Maybe
if there
transport,
was,
maybe
if there
transport. Because
was,
technically you're transporting money.
yeah,
driving
I
it around
transported
like that.
it by myself. I stayed there, so
Which
I
is
had.
very untraditional, so that doesn't normally even happen.
Yeah, that's why I don't think there's like a law for it. Maybe I don't know, but I'm a financial institution, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
this is like at what time is it? Oh shit, we got 2 more minutes. So then I had to go fall asleep there. So we check in at like 10 o'clock at night into the Mountain View Art and Wine Festival.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to pull
it's for
in.
an event.
It's for an event. So I had to pull in, and they're like, okay, you're going to go park over here. And I was like, all right.
Oh my God, with other carnies.
Yeah. Well, they're vendors now.
Sorry. That's what they call them in Europe.
In Austin Powers. Yeah, colonies. Small heads. I love Austin Powers. But yeah, they did that where I guess they didn't want to get a security guard, or we couldn't get a security guard in time. You know what I mean? So I obviously had to watch the fucking place. And then I fell asleep there. And then I probably left at like 9 in the morning. Once my crew came in, then I was able to leave, go home for a little bit. And then I came back at like, I want to say noon. And then from noon to 9, by then I had security guard. And so there was a security guard there to watch it. But it was 2 days. Yeah. So the next day I came back, right? I worked there again, came back. The fucking RV wouldn't jack down because when it goes up, it's on like hydraulics and then it lifts up so you can place the things down, you know, like the legs so that it doesn't drive off. And so when they put it down, it wouldn't go up. So I couldn't drive it because it's just sitting on the fucking jacks.
Oh, damn. So you were stuck.
And so I was stuck. And then I saw a security guard told us, they're like, oh, if you can hit up a auto supply store, you can get a certain thing to push it. And I went oil or whatever it was he told me to go get, and I went and got it for the hydraulics because it was like dried out. I don't fucking know. And so we did it. Boom, fucking and I was like, yes.
Look at you handling business.
I mean, someone told me to do it, so I was like,
No,
I don't
but
care
you-
at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, no, you did it. You did
Oh
it.
fuck
did
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, I
You
mean, I
wouldn't
was.
have found out if you didn't ask.
Yeah, and
or-
I had my kids with me. Oh my god, like it was a nightmare. And now, and here I am now, here doing a Pretty Extreme podcast from the studio. But we are done with the episode because we are gonna go hit up Mike like a bunch of comedians. Thank you so much, Nyoki, Jomama, for being on the show. Anything? Where can they find you, Nyoki? More
Thank you.
information.
You can find me on Instagram at NYOKI _ the reverse of that, which I can't spell right now.
Icon.
And
Icon.
yeah, that's the main place, yeah, but, or in the streets. You can find me in the streets.
That's funny.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Any upcoming shows?
No.
No.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah. And you, Jomama, where can we find out more about you?
Okay, so on Instagram, I think also on TikTok, it's My Life is Content. All one word, My Life is Content. And I'm gonna do Neck of the Woods on Saturday, the 9 p.m. show. But you know, there's I think a 7 p.m. show. So check it out this Saturday, September 16th.
You're gonna be at Neck of the Woods. Congratulations, popping your Neck of the Woods cherry out there. And yeah, congratulations. As I was saying, and you live in the city, so once you pop that cherry, you'll be going there regularly. So that's awesome. And I am PX Floro, your guys' host, Pretty Extreme Podcast. You can find out more at pxcomedy.org. Be sure to check out Foxtail First Sundays, Comedians and Empanadas First Fridays, and stay tuned for PX Radio coming up every Wednesdays in October. But other than that, please follow Nyoki, Jomama, and myself on the social media. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful life.